Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to another KPC Weekend Live. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Today we have a lot of topics throughout K-pop, Korean society, and all that. Afterwards, when we're done with all the news, we're gonna do a chill chat stream as usual. So yeah, tune in until then. Let's start with greetings. Who is watching? Hello, everybody. Before we go on, please smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and put your notification bells on if you want weekly doses of K-pop Korean news. So, who do we have here? Let's see. Hello, everybody. Becky is in the chat. I see the Bard. I see Travis, Rachel, Francesca. Hello, everybody. Mocha. Hello. Yes. Everybody is in the chat. Gian's in the chat. Hello. Kel. Hey. Crash Override. Okay. Michelle. Yeah. Everyone here to support. Lynn. Hello. Yes. And Gugoi. Hello from Mexico City. Yeah, and today we're going to cover a lot of topics. Let me just skim through what we're going to cover. Heung-min and Korea-US tariffs. Hangang bus ferry. Is Sun-brella racist? Huntrix with another comeback. And K-netizens getting tired of butt cheeks? Okay. Blackpink Lisa short being too short. V about the purple line in airports. And V becoming a best Coca-Cola model ever with his ad, but there's a little bit of criticism and controversy related. And what would you do if you had a gun in Korea? So very, very heated debates and thoughtful pieces today. Are we all excited? Hello, Ryan. Hello, Just the Tea, please. Welcome everybody. And so far we have more than 60 people watching. Let's smash that like button all together. Slav, hello. So how has your week been so far, everybody? It's been super hot in Korea. I've barely gone out because of the heat. Even if I wanted to, I just tended to stay inside. Yeah, it's not a very wise decision to go outside nowadays. Yeah, especially in this heat. Literally, it's melting down over here. It's a good news that overnight tonight we're gonna have some rain, so hopefully that decreases the temperature a little bit. But yeah, it's like that here. I got my bottle of Sprite and my AC and my fan blasting in the behind. If it bothers you, if it creates too much noise, just let me know in the chat and I will try to adjust it. Super hot in Florida, I can imagine. Yes. And David, did I miss it when you announced any job offer? Yes, you did, but unfortunately I did not get that. So for those of y'all who have been expecting an update on that news, there you go. I didn't get it. I was honored to be on the finalist. However, life gives you what do you call it? Sunmat. Bitter stuff. It can't always be sweet. I mean, it's a bummer, but I understand their explanation. I won't go into too much detail on what the company was and blah blah blah, but all in all, they were looking for someone that could work in Los Angeles. So yeah, I mean, physical constraints. But I don't know if that's a nice way of rejecting or not, but let me just try to believe that. Yeah. Anyways, thinking on the positive side, that means I can double down. Actually, that made my head a little bit more clear. I can double down on my own brand, my own business, you guys, and content. And I actually invested, in a whim, I think. Because of that, maybe, or because I just got this motivation, I bought this $300 equipment that is going to help me a lot in creating content. You'll be seeing a lot of content pumping out. I assure you, because there's another reason you see that logo over there. That's a government-run program that I am competing in to become one of the top creators on the leaderboard, and in order to do so, I need to pump out content and get those scores. So August 17th is the deadline for all the accomplishments and report cards and blah blah blah. So yeah, I'll be pumping out content throughout August. And you might have noticed there's a new podcast episode. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's about sustainability, not the usual topic, but it's interesting to tune into. Like, I did link Korea to it as well. And if you're from the Southeast Asian region, it might be more interesting as well too. And especially if you're into sustainability, circular economy, and all that kind of stuff. It's not getting as much as views as expected. However, I think it's a significant and meaningful piece. So please go check it out if you have the time. If you're not interested, just play it on the behind of your Chrome tab. That would be much appreciated. At least land a like over there. Yes, August 17th is your birthday too? Okay, let's celebrate if I make it to the next quota. So I actually made it to the second round of that program. Congratulations. Woohoo! Yeah, so what's good for me is that I get more mentoring, I get more networking opportunities, I get to use their facilities, but it's kind of far away, so that's kind of, but other than that, the biggest thing is I get subsidiaries that would help me create content further on, and if I make it to the finalist, I get a bigger sum of subsidiaries. So that's that. Yeah, but bottom line, I didn't get the job, but this has motivated me. I invested in equipment. August is a month that I need to pump out content, voluntary, involuntarily, both ways. Also, it's my birthday month, August 29th. Yeah, I'm a Virgo, so I'm probably gonna really cram in my energy into creating content until the 17th, and then probably just get a one-way ticket to Busan. Don't look back. Go spend time with my family and have a mini vacation in Busan with my grandma, my mom and dad, and my dogs, and just walk by the beach and work there, here and there, in front of the ocean. That's the good part. Anyways, yes, thanks everyone for the advanced wishes. Happy birthday to you, Ryan, and myself too. I still have a month. Oh wow, it's August 4th? That is crazy. That is crazy. As an environmental scientist, I love that podcast. It was so inspiring and informational. Everyone should listen to it. Yes, thank you, Ani, for the support and the promotion. New podcast is really good, interesting to see what people are doing. Yeah, we had intergenerational leaders from Southeast Asian regions that made their own companies to make a better environment, make things more sustainable. So please go check it out. Okay, it was very interesting, I thought. Always appreciate your support. That sounds awesome. You deserve the holiday. Yes. Okay. Oh, you're August 5th. Just tea, please. Okay. Congratulations. Happy birthday to you. Yes, it's only in one day. I don't know which region you're in, but at least under 24 hours now. Yes. Okay. Happy birthday, everybody. I have a lot of August babies in the chat. Okay. Yeah, so let's go on into the news today. We have a lot to cover, as I've teased you guys. We have some sad news. I don't know if it's sad or happy, but okay, let's just go on with this because he is one of the national heroes of South Korea. This is worthy of spotlighting. So, Korea's superstars Heung-min confirms Tottenham Hotspur departure. So if you've been following Korean news for a while, he is the national hero among with BTS and Bong Joon-ho, which created Parasite. He is the trilogy of Korean in the Korean shrine up there. So yeah, he's made our country proud for more than a decade. He started his career in the Bundesliga, and now he's in the Premier League. He got the Golden Boot. He was one of the top scorers, and he became a legend in Tottenham Hotspur. He is not disliked by anybody in the league, quite literally, and that's pretty hard to achieve if you have rivalry between North London and all the different regions and all stuff. And it's more significant because he's an Asian player. So I've heard from a lot of my friends throughout Southeast Asian countries and other Asian, even Japanese people, a lot of them look up to him and root for him, support him because he's Asian representation in the football field. So yeah, I'm very proud of him, but there's some unfortunate, but I don't know, good news at the same time. So he has finally finished his journey as a Premier League football player. So he is not retiring. hold your horses. He's not retiring, but he's just leaving the club. He made the decision. It is final. He announced it yesterday during like a friendly match, which is being held in Korea. Every one of my influencer friends are flocking all over there, seeing the Barcelona and Tottenham Hotspur Newcastle football matches. So lucky, but I don't know. Would I want to go there? It's super hot. But anyways, yeah, he announced it in a press conference, and he's finally leaving the club. He's now a legend. A lot of the Tottenham fans are saying we need a statue for him. Quite literally, that would be pretty interesting. But yeah, he's up there in the Hall of Fame. And he actually marked his peak at the club. This is the perfect timing for him to leave the club because he got the what do you call it, the Europa Cup, right? Europa League Cup. It's one tier down from the Champions League Cup, but it is a big achievement that Tottenham hasn't been able to get. So yeah, he peaked. He got his all-time high in Tottenham, and now we have news. I don't know if it's 100% official or not, but many news sources are putting out that he is going to move to the Los Angeles Galaxy, the MLS, the American Football League. So I think, if I'm not wrong, I might be outdated, but the Los Angeles Galaxy football team is managed or run, or I don't know if he has a stake or not, but David Beckham is a part of that team. It's a very famous team. A lot of people are disappointed that he's going to the MLS. A lot of people guessed that he would go to either one of these Middle Eastern leagues, like Al Nassr, where Cristiano Ronaldo and a lot of Benzema, all these star players are playing, and they got a lot of oil money. So a lot of people thought that, but he made his decision to go to the MLS, to the United States, and I feel like he's made a good decision. Like, if you think about it, like analyze his points. LA has a huge Korean community. I think he'll feel like home over there. Like, if he, resides in Orange County, downtown LA, K-Town, you got like Irvine, wherever, Koreans everywhere. Very nice place to live if you got money. Very nice weather, very chill, great food. And the MLS is like a rising league as well. Lionel Messi, the soccer legend, is in Florida. In the MLS as well. A lot of people are moving there. So yeah, I don't know if he has a vision or not, but I'm pretty sure he made that decision upon a lot of different reasons, and I feel like he knows what's best for himself. So yeah, we have yet to know anything in detail about the contracts or the transfer money or his what his paycheck is going to look like, but I feel like it's going to be massive. Nevertheless, I wish the best luck to him, and I can't thank him enough because, like, as I've said, like, the sentiment behind him, like, he's a Korean national hero. Like, everyone has stayed up and sacrificed their night's sleep, like employees and corporate workers, because the Premier League, because of the time difference in Korea, it's usually past midnight. Like, it's at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., even 4 a.m. at some times, and diehard football fans stay up to watch Son Heung-min, And in the old days, you got to understand, when Park Ji-sung or like all these Korean Premier Leaguers were pioneering to go to the EPL back then, Ji-sung Park had his prime at Manchester United, but still, like, it wasn't secure. He didn't have like a secured spot. He wasn't like a starter every single time. But once Sonny went to the Premier League, he started excelling. He became the freaking captain, and we could expect him to come out every single game. Every single game, he did great performances. He made some crazy goals, and he's made some crazy accomplishments. So yeah, just a very groundbreaking kind of accolades. So he's in everybody's heart, and his friend Park Seo-jun today came to greet him and say farewell to his now team. So there's a lot of YouTube videos out there. Copyright strikes, I can't show you, but yeah, it was a very heartwarming, and it kind of feels like an end of an era. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was Messi, there was Ronaldo. They all retired now. No, they're all like in their own like teams. Sonny now gone. We can't see them in like a competitive league. That's what I'm saying, right? So yeah, it feels like an end of an era, and but I'm happy for him. I'm happy. Oh, wait, it's not LA Galaxy, LAFC. I'm so sorry, I mixed it all up. What did I read over here? Yes, it's not LA Galaxy, it's LAFC. I'm so sorry. I've been babbling on without fact checking over here. Yeah, I read the wrong article. Okay, he's moving to LA. Okay, thank you for the correction. So for all of you who are LA Galaxy fans, I'm sorry I disappointed you. He's moving to LAFC. Those are two different clubs. It's time for him to get his bag, yes. Yeah, that was also some football player. Okay, was he the father of the kids in The Return of Superman? What? No. That's a different guy. Yeah, he's another Korean legend. But anyways, okay. Did he get exempt from the military since he's an athlete? Yes. I think he got exempt because he got a medal from the Asian Cup or something. The Olympics or whatever. Yeah, I was spreading fake news. I'm so sorry. It wasn't LA Galaxy. It's LAFC. Get your facts right. Okay, so congrats to Sunny. And we have 200 people watching. Don't forget to smash that like button. And let's go on to some more U.S. related news. This is probably the biggest news that has been on repeat for 24/7 in Korea for the past few weeks actually. Yeah, past few months actually. It was fear-mongering. It was just horrible. But we got through it. So we got a thing to celebrate, or I don't know. Anyways, the Korea-US made an agreement on 15% tariffs. So this is pretty big news. If you've been following politics, if you're not living in a cave, if you're a US citizen, everyone knows that President Donald Trump has imposed tariffs worldwide, what he terms reciprocal tariffs. It's only fair in his point of view. But a lot of the global citizens and countries have been very concerned because of these tariffs, because it might cripple their economies, like the exports and all that. So yeah, Korea was one of them, and as a small country with a lot of geopolitical ties to the US, we have a lot of, I don't know, very I would say critical points. We have the US military here, we have China, we have Japan, which is a big ally of the US, Japan, Korea ally over there, and we have semiconductors, and we have ship making, we have automobiles. These three industries were the ones that President Trump was interested in. He openly spoke about this in several speeches in Congress, in the Oval Office. He was like, the American economy or industry got stolen of these very strong industries that we once owned in like a couple decades ago, like semiconductors. We gave all the manufacturing to Taiwan, South Korea, and now they're thriving with the semiconductors. We have Samsung, SK Hynix, and all that. For the ship making, America was once great, but then, it all moved to South Korea. So South Korea is one of the biggest ship makers in the world right now. I think more than 60% is made by China, but obviously, like, America's not going to do like a very non-hostile deal with China. They're going to compete. So like among the allies, South Korea is a country that can cooperate the most with ship making. So that's that. And then automobiles, like, quite honestly, outside of America, nobody really buys Ford or GM. So like in domestically in America, like if you go to like places like Texas or wherever, you see these huge pickup trucks, and you see like Ford, you see Mustangs and all that. But outside of America, when I was in Europe, when I'm in Korea, and when I'm in Japan or China, I have not seen a single American car. Quite ironically, my car is American, so woohoo, Americans, yay! I stand up for you. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So his logic was like the automobile industry has shifted its power to like more towards like, Korea and China. China's surging right now, really surfacing with its electric EV industry at the moment, and obviously we have Germany with like BMW. What is it, like Mercedes and Volkswagen, all that, Porsche. So yeah, like he was like, I want to make America great again, starting with these industries. So yeah, like he was like, let's make the tariffs. And as I told you, I'm not knowledgeable enough to talk about global economy and economics. I can't even pronounce it, you can see. But there are two colliding schools of thoughts right now that I've been observing. First of all, like this is basic economics 101. If you put tariffs on another country, then the price is going to be higher. It's going to become higher in the American market. Thus, there's going to be an inflation in price for the American consumer. So the American consumer is going to have to pay more for products that you usually got out of free trade and all that. But there's another logic that President Trump is actually saying, that if we impose these tariffs, that money becomes like American tax money, and it makes the government rich. And also these tariffs are making, like, he's giving benefits for the companies outside of America. For example, like Samsung or Hyundai, he's saying, if you don't want to pay the tariffs, make your factories in America, make your automobiles, make your phones and whatever in America, and then you won't have any taxes. And there are some examples actually happening. So like very pro-America, pro-US countries like Korea and Japan are actually lining up, and they are thinking of making factories in American soil, which is going to drive up manufacturing jobs for Americans as well. So that's what he's, I think, betting on, I guess. And yeah, like we'll have to see in the long run who's right or not. I won't take any sides, because like I'm a mere Korean citizen that doesn't want to meddle with American politics. So you do your own research and make your own decisions as a consumer, as a taxpayer over there. But outside of America, like all the other countries are basically, I'm gonna unfilter and say this, like all the other countries, well, I can't speak on behalf of all the countries, but at least for Japan and Korea and the EU, a lot of them have been saying, like, framing this as like, oh, they're not, they're kind of like gangsters now. Like the US is like a gangster now. Like they're collecting money. They're actually threatening us, and then we've promised to give massive amount of money to the US. So for Korea, the chairman of Samsung, Hyundai Motors, and Hanwha. Hanwha is like a very big artillery machine and weapons and aerospace company in Korea. It's very lucrative, and also it has a huge ship making company as well. The stocks are going crazy right now. It's called Hanwha Ocean. So these three chairmen of the big chaebols all flew with the negotiation team to the US to just deliver what we had to deliver to get that cut from 25% to 15%. And we had a precedent from Japan. They also gave a massive amount of money to the US. They promised that, and a lot of investments. We on top of, like, for us to make that 15% deal, I have to look through all the articles to get the specifics, but I'll just let you know we pledged to invest astronomical amount of money to the US, and we made deals and we made agreements to make factories, make more stuff in American soil. Also, what else? Yeah, there was a big deal about Alaska and LPG gas, and that we're going to participate in the huge project, and we're gonna import that energy. We've always also opened up our farming and agricultural sector, so we're gonna be importing more American beef, rice, so and such and such. So a lot of these things, and quite honestly, all the smaller and weaker countries that don't, can't really resist the power of the USA feel like they're getting ripped off. I don't know. Like, you could think differently, like as Trump is saying, like they were in a massive deficit of trade for a lot of years. So I don't know. But anyways, like, one thing for sure is that there is no longer any uncertainty anymore. So Korean people have been on their toes for the past few months because of these tariffs. Because initially, when President Trump did the White House briefing with that board, we had South Korea labeled as 50% tariffs. It went down to 25%, and then we made all these deals, and it was a last minute deal. The deal was supposed to be made before August 1st, which was when Trump was imposing those tariffs, but we made it at July 31st. And literally our Secretary of Trade and whatever followed the American president and the Secretary of whatever trade all the way to, I think it was Scotland or somewhere, and then to the Oval Office and all that. It was a huge, I don't know, it was almost like a reality show. Our news was reporting it real time, and everybody was on the edge, like, oh shit, what's going to happen? Like, if we get a 25% tariff, our country is doomed. And even though we got the 15%, a lot of people think this is a massive failure in negotiation. I don't think it's a failure. I think good job, negotiation team. We did our best, and 15%, that's like, if you look at all the other countries that are getting tariffs from the US right now, for example, Canada gets 35, I think Brazil is getting 50, I think India's up there with like, I don't know, 25 or 30, and Switzerland is getting like 35 or something right now. So like, we're relatively really low, but I do understand that we basically sold our soul to the US. But anyways, in relative aspects, I think Korea did good in the negotiations, and we made a project called MASGA. Like, this was reported a lot in Korean news too. So what MASGA means is, MAGA stands for Make America Great Again, right? So the Korean negotiation team and the Secretary of Trade thought they prepared day and night for these presentations in front of President Trump. And news sources say, no, actually the secretaries actually spoke in an interview saying that they did mock pitches and presentations, and they set a fake Trump in front of them, and they made someone impersonate his characteristics, like being very like volatile and not unpredictable and like very aggressive and all that, and they practiced with them one-on-one. So like, scenario A, card B, card C, oh, what if he just jumps up and like rejects everything? Like, they played all their cards. They prepared day and night for that. So I really respect their efforts. But all in all, what was I talking about? Like, I was leading to somewhere. But anyways, okay, so yeah, I relatively think it was like a good deal at the end of the day. Like, it's not a good deal per se, but like, we saved our asses. That's what I can say. But if you go in detail, one point that Korean people are very worried about is the automobile industry. So we have a 15% tariff on automobiles, right? And obviously Hyundai Motors and Kia Motors are the biggest exports of Korea right now. And what's troublesome for us is that so Japan is a big automobile powerhouse as well too. They got like Honda, Nissan, and their own cars, and like, we're competitors in the US market. The US market is one of the biggest importers of Korean and Japanese cars. Japanese cars were up there like a decade ago, but Korean cars have started to follow up in terms of technology and brand reputation and all that. I've pretty much seen a lot of people prefer Hyundais nowadays more than Hondas. So yeah, I'm very proud in that point. But the disadvantage we had is that Japanese cars already had a 2.5% tariff, according to news sources. So they had a 2.5% tariff already pre-existing with the United States, but now the U.S. has imposed 15%, so that makes a 12.5% tariff on Japanese cars. Whereas because we had a free trade deal with the U.S., we had 0% on automobiles, and now because it's 15%, it became 0 to 15. So there's a 15% increase in Korea, where there's a 12.5% increase in Japanese cars. So while we're direct competitors, Japanese cars at the end of the day, after this tariff, is going to have a 2.5% advantage over Korean cars in the American market, right? So, like, because it's one of our representative export products, and it's a huge industry in Korea, so a lot of people are quite concerned about that factor. So the Hyundai Motors chairman actually came out and addressed these kind of concerns, saying like, yeah, we did the best we could, and they're quite satisfied with the results. And they were like, you know what, like, you know, we think of this as in a positive and optimistic way, thinking that all we have to do is just make our quality better, like invest more in the quality of the cars and our reputation, and we're already going through a nice increasing value in the US market. So all we have to do is just do more work. So yeah, I don't think they're not that concerned, but then people were like making scenarios like, if there's an average US consumer and they have a budget of, like, let's say $30,000 and you have a Honda, what's a car, like we have a Civic and you have like an Ioniq, they're both EV cars or whatever, and the Honda is like 28,000, whereas the Korean car is like 30,000. Which one are you gonna buy? What's going to be, like, price is a very, especially in like expensive products like cars, right? So price is a very big determining factor. So we have to observe what this is going to have in impact in the sales and all that. But let's see. Yeah. But okay, just as I'm trading my Hyundai and want to stick with Korean, okay. Yeah, Mazda was make American shipping great again. So did I skip that part? So like the negotiation team made a catchphrase called Mazda make American shipping great again. They even made a postboard for it, and they knew that President Trump was interested in ship making, because it's big and there's a lot of manufacturing employees to be hired, and so yeah, like our negotiation team and Hanwha's chairman actually went and said, like, we have these cards for you, we'll make these and modernize these ship docks and your infrastructure, and we'll share technology with you. We can even help you manufacture your own, what do you call, Navy ships, and all that. So yeah, 15 is better than 25, right? So yeah, so I mean, even now there are some discrepancies in the interpretations of the tariffs that are happening. So the Korean government is consistently saying that they have not opened like very sensitive agricultural particular products, produce, I don't know, but like rice or some other agricultural products. But the US side on X and the White House, they're saying like Korea's fully opened their agricultural sector. So there are some disharmonies right now, and we are going to finally have the both presidents meet. We're going to have a presidential summit in like 2 weeks, so that's going to be another viewpoint. But so far the uncertainty has died down, the uncertainty has gone, and people are like, whew, thank God we made it done on like one day before. the deadline, and the other countries right now that haven't been successful in the deals, they're pretty much struggling. So Ryan sent a super chat. Let's go check it out. I'm sorry I missed it. Is it up there? Let's see. Ryan, thank you so much for the super chat. Pizza. Will Koreans, including yourself, still continue to support Spurs with Sun leaving, or just shift all their support to LAFC from here on? I think it's pretty obvious that nobody's going to support Spurs anymore. Like, Korean people just flop like anchovies. Like, if we have a Korean player here, we support this team. If we have a Korean player here, we support that team. There might be some residue that, like, I've been supporting Spurs for 10 years now. Like, I like every little thing of the team, so let me just remain. I don't think so, though, because, like, so far, what I've seen is, like, everybody just loves the club because of Sonny. Like, other than that, they're like, it's a shit club, especially because of the chairman, like Levy, him being a very frugal person and just selling players and all that. There's a lot of negative sentiment. But yeah, I don't even think they're gonna shift to LAFC, because, like, quite honestly, nobody really watches the MLS. So. Yeah, I think that's what I also said. It's the end of an era in terms of football, because in Korea, because we don't have any prominent players anymore. Like Kim Min-jae, which is one of our legendary defenders. There's a lot of news brewing about him getting kicked out of Bayern Munich right now. And Lee Gang-in, who's in PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, he's not getting his spot secured, so it's very fragile over there too. So, like, I don't know, it's like, we're going through a dark phase now. So yeah. Okay, let's see. Recent US layoffs will not mean we can afford to buy things at a higher price currently. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of reports. There was also a labor indicator that just was announced the day before, and it said that a lot of Americans have become unemployed. Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen. Meets with Trump, just end him, insulting them. He hasn't a diplomatic bone in his body. That all comes from power, Unfortunately, our world has always been governed by power. Like, it's not different. All the empires so far. Like, if you're a superpower, that's what you get to do. And quite honestly, that's the power. It's the game. Yeah, and you got to play it. So countries like South Korea or Japan are like, yeah, we're in the system. We got no option. So let's try to do our best. Hey, Sarah. Hello. Good day, mate. Okay, so let's go on to the next news. We've lingered on on this topic for too long, so let's lighten the mood a little bit. I thought this was quite funny. So Seoul improves commuter access to Hangang bus ferry piers. The Seoul Metropolitan Government is enhancing accessibility to the Hangang bus, Han River, which is scheduled to officially launch in September. Starting Friday, the city will add 3 new bus routes and adjust 5 existing ones to better connect commuters to 4 of the ferry piers served by Hangang buses in Magok, Mangwon, Apgujeong, and Jamsil. Yeah, and there will be buses in the interim between, like, the pier and, like, populated areas. My thought on this, I mean, I have some fond memories and connections with the current Seoul mayor, but I think this is nah. Like, if this was just a tourist kind of thing, if this was targeted towards tourists or just for the sake of the Seoul citizens, their leisure and just family activities, it would have been good. But because of the fact that this is a ferry, it's actually offering transportation, and it's linked to our public transportation system, I don't think this is going to fly. Like, of course it's going to operate, but what I'm saying is it's probably going to be in a very big deficit. And also, utility-wise, I don't see a lot of Seoul citizens actually really using this actively day by day, like the subway or the bus. Because first of all, like, if you've been to Seoul and if you've been to Seoul Han River, the the actual way to get to access Han River is you gotta walk quite a lot. You know, like it's not right next to a road or something. Like it's you actually have to walk a good 15 minutes at least from whichever district to get to the nearest Han River Park. Even from my district, Mapo, if you want to go to Han River, you have to walk at least like 10 minutes. I mean, yeah, so like I don't see why people would go out of their way to take a ferry walking all the way. Of course there's going to be buses, but then you'll have to wait for that shuttle bus to the Han River, so it's kind of inefficient as a Seoul citizen right now. So like I would just stick to my normal city bus and public, subway transportation rather than a ferry. Like it might be very beneficial for a minuscule amount of people that live right next to the Han River, which is, that's what I'm saying. The irony is people that live right next to Han River, that's considered a very premium real estate because you have a river view. So these people are super loaded, and the real estate prices, the apartment prices that are right next to Han River are unaffordable. They are super expensive. And will these people use ferries to go to work? I don't think so. So yeah, this is just not right in my opinion. I'll be totally honest about that. But I understand where he's coming from. It's a new additional form of transportation. There's nothing to lose unless it's unprofitable, or unless it's like a massive tax adding to the Seoul citizens, which I fear it's going to be, quite honestly. And also, like, I didn't know about these forms of transportation, but ever since I've been to Scandinavia the past month, I've seen ferries operating in Stockholm, also in Helsinki, and they were very nice, but they were very utilized in a very efficient way, like from the short stay I observed. But in Seoul, I don't know. If it just reduces the time between Jamsil, the endpoint to the endpoint, a lot, especially during like rush hour, then it might be efficient. But still, I don't know. Especially there's variables like weather as well. Like during the summer, are you really going to go all the way to the Han River Park, or during winter, like when you just have a subway right in front of you? So yeah, like we got to think about this. Anyways, yeah, what are you guys saying? Okay, we're already talking about V over here. That's going to be one of the topics soon I will reveal. Before we go on, please press that like button. And let's see. Yeah, y'all are just fighting about that already. Okay. So yeah, that's for the ferry news. Before we go into the Taeyong and V news, we got some controversy over here. I don't know if this actually blew up big or not. I don't know the magnitude of this controversy, but it made it to the Korea Herald, which is viewed by a lot of people. So, before we go on, Chandler says, we use ferries in the NYC, but there has to be efficient service when you get off the ferry. Otherwise, it makes no sense. Yeah, I mean, at least in NYC, there's a lot of demand for the ferry from what I saw, because if you're referring to the one that goes around the Statue of Liberty and Staten Island and all that. So yeah, if that's the one, I don't know if there's like other ones that connect it to like other places or not, but yeah. So going back to the controversy right now. So, is using a sun umbrella linked to a racial bias? We call them Sun-brellas. Actually, I just made that up. We call them Yangsan. It means, actually, it's Sun-brella, because Yang means Taeyang, means sun, and U means, so a little bit of Korean here. Usan is umbrella. U means rain in Chinese characters. So it's a rain umbrella. And then Yangsan is like sun in Chinese character, and san, so it's a parasol or like a sun umbrella, right? So anyways, you all know already that Korean people dread becoming tanned, and they want to stay outside of the sunlight as much as possible. They put on layers of sun cream. They have long sleeves on when they're doing sports. They prepare their sunbrellas during the summer, especially during hot days like this when there's a lot of UV and some shade actually helps you out. But because this phenomenon made it to the global audience, I don't know if it's a lot of people, at least this post got viral. This particular TikToker has stirred some buzz, claiming that this is linked to racism somehow. So let me read the article. Parasols or sunbrellas have long been a summer necessity in several Asian countries. It is easy to spot both men and women holding them over their heads in the streets of South Korea and Japan to shield against the sunlight and strong UV rays. However, a viral TikTok video claiming that the widespread use of such sunshades in Asia stems from underlying white supremacy It has stirred controversy and sparked heated debates over whether the issue is about racism or health. In the video titled Asians Afraid of Being Dark, the TikToker questions why parasols are so popular in Asian countries. Someone needs to explain to me why Asians are so afraid of the sun, she said. I promise you it's not that bad if you go a little darker. A few minutes in the sun won't make your skin that dark. Okay, so before we jump into the comments, what do you think about this? I have my own thoughts too, but like, what do you think of this? According to the post, it went viral, and we don't know if those likes are good likes or bad likes, but it went viral, so it provided a talking point to some extent, right? So let's see. Lots of sun isn't good for anyone's skin, whatever their complexion. Yeah. No, I've used them before when it's really hot, and I'm black. I use them for shade. Okay, laugh emoji. Oh God, I just purchased a parasol yesterday while in Chinatown. I need and adore them. Okay, you might be racist to someone. Why are Western people not afraid of skin cancer? We Koreans are naturally white. I'd have thought it had more to do with fear of skin cancer. That TikTok is trying to cause trouble. I slather myself with SPF multiple times a day. Korean beauty standards, paler the prettier. I mean, that's true. That is true. I won't deny that. Like, we worship pale people. Like, and it's not because like we look up to white people or anything. Like, it's, some people might argue it's colorism or whatever. Okay, let me tone down a bit. It's not we don't worship or anybody or something like that, or I totally misused the word over there because this is a sensitive issue. Let me go back on it. So a lot of people prefer paler and lighter skin in general. Let's just say prefer, okay? We don't worship anybody, right? Nowadays there's a lot of diversity. There's a lot of different tones of skins, and people admire tan skin a lot. They actually say it looks healthy. If you look at comments about celebrities like Hwasa or Sister Hyorin or like Ihyori, they all have tan skin, and we think, oh, they look very healthy. There's like this Singles Inferno contestant Kang Soyeon. She has darker skin, and we all say like, wow, she looks so healthy. So like we have a positive sentiment upon tan skin as well. So let's not get that wrong. But in general, I would say even among females and maybe males as well, the beauty standard has conventionally been on the paler side. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so let me rephrase that worship thingy. I got out of overboard over there. But anyways, yeah, I won't deny that fact. And a lot of people say, oh, that's also colorism, that expands to racism and internalized over there, blah 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 blah, or maybe it's classism with the classic explanation that in Korea, like peasants and farmers used to go out in the crops and fields and they would get sunburned, and that's why like lower class or less earning people would get more darker skin. That's why the aristocrats and the nobles would have pale skin, because they're always indoors, and the lower class would have that, so there would be a distinct obviously people would admire people that are in the higher class, right? So that there's that explanation, but then people say that's classism anyways too, and the fact that you tie that color to something of a socioeconomic status is also, at the end, it trickles down to colorism and racism, blah 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 blah. Okay, I've read it and gone through all of that, but at the end of the day, even if we exclude all of that explanation, like, let's just leave out of that. A lot of you have been pointing out in the comments so far, nowadays it's mostly about skin cancer. And recently I've met a friend, like, you remember I went to Hangang with my friend, and we were talking about sunscreen just because, like, they were putting sunscreen on, and he was like, yeah, you want some? And I was like, no. And he was like, he literally gave me this look, and I was like, what, is there something on my face? And he was like, you're not putting on sunscreen? Like, yeah, like, I just don't like the sticky feeling. And he's like, bro, you're gonna get skin cancer. And he was dead serious. He was dead serious about that. He's like, and also, like, he went on, he actually did a rant about it. He's like, you're gonna get skin cancer when you're old, and also, like, you're in your 30s right now. Like, if you want to maintain your juicy and, like, plumpy face, like, and, like, prevent wrinkles and all that, I would recommend you putting on sunscreen and not getting that much exposure to the sun. And I was like, it's okay, like, I like natural beauty, and I don't even go outside anyway, so I need some sunlight. I need some good daily dose of vitamin D. Like, 15 minutes is gonna, and he was like, we're not going out in the sun for 15 minutes today, and even during that 15 minutes, you gotta put on sunblock to actually block the harmful UV. So I was like, oh, okay. I was just like, it was flowing out of my ear. But, like, yeah, like, the sentiment here is very extreme. And imagine that it was a guy that was telling me that. And girls here, women here, the beauty standards, you might call it toxic, but they are up there. It's very strict. And if you don't apply sunscreen, they look at you like some I don't know, like, they look at you as an uncivilized being over here. And I think a level beyond that is wearing sunbrellas. And sunbrellas, parasols, are actually pretty handy because not only do they protect you from the UV, like, I don't know how theoretically or technically it does. Maybe they could penetrate the fiber or whatever, but at least they have sunblock. But they also provide you shade, so it just literally makes you a little more cooled down, right? So logically, I would think, even if we move aside from all the beauty standards and whatever, for health reasons, for maybe, like, youth, not in, like, colorism beauty, but, like, youth reasons, and also just staying cool and staying hydrated and not very stressed in the sun, I think parasols have a lot of advantages. So I get what this person is trying to lead to. Like, okay, like, it's an extended talk from the old, narrative that Koreans are indeed racist at some point, and they do favor some color palettes to some extent. But extending this to parasols might be a stretch. That's what I'm saying. That's my take, right? So let's see what you guys have been saying. Like, I'm done with my speech. Wow. Okay, this section is popping. Lots of white people tan in tanning beds. Yeah. Regionally, skin itself is different, just like pores and oil content are such. Different Asian skin reacts differently to sun exposure. Yeah, we get, like, super red, and, like, it peels off and it gets super they missing the message of being tanned. It implies you work in a countryside as labor, so it's not about race, it's about different classes in the country. Yeah, that's a classic explanation. We don't have to go through every topic that appears in the Korean Herald. I love the sarcasm there. Saying that this is, like, literally a no news kind of thing. Isn't tanner skin traditionally more associated with people working in the sun? Yes. Yeah. But then, like, Okay, I understand that explanation, and I think there is a little bit of truth into it, and might have trickled down through generations. However, a counter, just to be the devil's advocate, a counter objection towards that would be the nowadays generation, the Gen Z, for example. They still prefer to be pale skinned, right? And they honestly haven't got any education or any exposure to that narrative of being like a noble person and not being a farmer or whatever. And their parents have probably not taught them about that, or the education system does not introduce that in any way. So I guess that thought just carried on through our ancestors and the next generation and the next generation blindly, and it just formed a beauty standard, and that just was absorbed and just passed on to the next generation after generation. That's why even to this day, even though we don't logically know what the reason is, like, there is a preferability to pale skin. So yeah. Use an umbrella if you want. Always use sunscreen. Cancer doesn't discriminate. Yeah, say it louder for the people in the back. Okay. I'm black and use sun-sensitive creams to help clear acne scars. I avoid the sun like the plague. I'm telling you, there are people like this. Like, I'm not kidding. Korea is a country that is big on skincare, so people can be using umbrellas for the same reasons. Dude, use sunscreen. See, like, even my viewers right now are, don't gaslight me into using sunscreen. Okay, I know, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I got a whole lecture and sermon about why I need to use sunscreen the day in that car when I was on that trip, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry, I sinned, I repent, I will use sunscreen, and I haven't been using sunscreen. So probably if you see me in my 40s, then I'll have all these wrinkles and all that. But yeah, I just hate, I can't stand that sticky feeling. Yeah, and then I said, like, oh, I kind of use that stick form of sunscreen, but like my friend, he was like, that stick doesn't work, you know, you can't use that, you need to use the sticky cut type of sunscreen over like a SPF of whatever and blah 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 blah. And okay. Too much sun exposure ages you. So this is an interesting point too. Like, as I've said before, a lot of people say that Asian people don't age, right? Asians don't raisin. And I honestly think this is more than 50%. This is because of the behaviorism of Asian people, that they don't like being in the sun. Like, yeah, my friends, they never go out in the sun. They don't enjoy the sun in a park or a nice outdoor cafe. In the first place, we don't have outdoor cafes that much. We're always stuck indoors. Yeah. You gotta tell me which one, because I just can't stand. David, your skin is your largest organ. Treat it well. Ooh, that's another way to see it. Yeah. Okay. I'm white as snow. My veins shine under skin. Doctors have said to not go to sun because I have been skin cancer. And by the way, I've never felt good in hot sunlight. Greetings from the northern Europe. Okay. Yeah, be careful out there. Here in Australia, the sunscreen is an absolute must. Even children in school have to apply them, while carrying parasols and wearing long sleeves to cover our arms isn't a really cool thing to do. Yeah, I can see that. So I guess, like, Korean people take it to the next level. And if you see all these TikToks, you know, there are bunch of people, like, nowadays if you go to Jongno or Yeoksam or these office areas, let me just show you. Like, I'll just type in Yangsan in Google. You'll find these what do you call it, these pictures of people, like, you know, carrying these sun-brellas. And because this many people are, what do you think now? Did you fix your mind? Oh shit, they are racist. This many people walk around with sun parasols like it's raining. What do you think now? Does this change or shift your point of view? Like, if you walk around Korea, you will see a lot of sun parasols indeed. So, I don't know. But, like, if you literally look at that, we have installed giant parasols, like these rooftops. And we have taxpayer money spent installing these. And everybody loves them. They have no objection in spending our money for these parasols. But is this kind of overboard? So I think the foreigners were kind of freaked out when they saw these pictures of Korea where everybody, oh no, this is like an umbrella, but everybody was wearing these parasols during the summer. And they were like, oh shit, they have unhealthy obsession. Maybe that's too much. Maybe there is some kind of reason yeah, maybe there is racism behind it. I don't know. You be the judge, but yeah, that is quite a lot, right? Just makes me think it looks hot. I hate hot. Umbrellas for the win. Lol. I use K sunscreen and I'm in South Texas. It's 105 Fahrenheit in summer. Need sunscreen? I use Korean sunscreen. Good for you, Janie. Hooray. It just seems impractical. I'm an oncology nurse. Protect your skin. A minor lesion may be more serious. Spreads other organs. It may not show after years. Okay, now it's getting scary. Yeah, but, you know, Korean ajummas are at the forefront of these parasols. And if you go golfing and whatever, everyone has these sleeves on and gloves on. And they even have, like, if I go play tennis nowadays during the summer, like, it's super, super hot. But they have, like, these, what do you call them? Tennis 여름 복장. They have, like, these masks, like, balaclavas. What do you call them? Mask. Yeah, like every single woman on the court plays tennis like this. Like this, really. They have these kind of specialized masks because they won't want to get sunburned or tanned. Like even guys too here. Yeah. Like the amount, I'm thinking of buying one too, but I feel like I'm going to have a hard time breathing. But you know, like the obsession is real. The obsession is real. I do my walks and bike riding by 6 a.m. to avoid sun. Also, I opt for no sunroof in car to cut the sun. Well, I can relate to that to some extent because I have to walk my dog daily. Nowadays, the summer heat and sun is just too much for me. So, like, either I go really early because I don't sleep. I go like at 5 a.m. or maybe 2 a.m. So I go past midnight before sunrise. That's when my dog walks. Unfortunately, she has a different biorhythm than most dogs out there. And you can see it's 1:24. No, actually, that clock stopped for 10 minutes. So it's 1:36 right now in Korea, a.m. You think the mask looks really good? Okay. Well, yeah, aren't they hot? Yeah, I supposedly, I've never had one before, but like all of my friends use it. My friend Leo actually covers himself with sun cream and like these cool sleeves and gloves and like black masks, and he has like a sun cap kind of. It's crazy. And he wears long pants during the summer. Yeah, I can't. Like, he literally looks like this dude. This dude. Yeah, he looks like that dude. Yeah. Anyways, the masks look cool. Really? When I went to the UK, this is totally unrelated and on tangent. Fatin, my friend, he was like when we were saying bye, and it was like 10 p.m. or something, and I was going all by myself to the underground, and then I had my residence somewhere. He was like, "Oh, you're going up there? Like, oh, your area is okay, it's a safe place, but if you go a few more stops above there, it gets pretty sketchy over there. And nowadays there's a lot of like gangs and like knife crimes and stabbings and all that. And I was like, in London? Are you for real? And he was like, yeah, dead serious. There's a lot of like, very bad people out there that actually mug people and steal from them and stab them and all that. And I was like, oh shit, I'm really, really frightened. And where was I going with this? Oh, and he said like, there was a word for that, but I forgot. But he said typically these people wear these kind of goggles and like these kind of masks or something, like ski masks. And if you see someone in that kind of apparel or outfit, like, don't go near that person, like run or something like that. I don't know if this is true or not. Maybe it's exaggerated. Maybe he was trying to spook me out. But yeah, I heard something like that. Yeah, that was scary. You don't sleep at all? No, I do sleep. I sleep, but my biorhythm is just effed because of these streams and just editing and all that. So yeah, I'm a freelancer and I kind of feel like, this weird superiority. I'm just kidding, but I just feel like good when like everybody is going to work at 9 a.m. and I'm just like, in my bed watching webtoons or like watching the stock market, and okay, let's take a nap and wake up at 3 p.m. This is an extreme example. I don't live like that every single day, okay? Like I do have some insomnia, so it's not good at the end of the day, but like yeah, when I'm like, yeah, it's a good life. I'm blessed. But then there are major repercussions and side effects. Yeah, I don't get good sleep. Very irregular schedules. Yeah. I get what you're saying. Okay. Okay. Oh, knife crime in London is really bad in certain areas. Also phone theft. Oh, phone theft. Yeah. My friend was like, never watch your phone like unguarded in the tube or wherever. Like they might snatch it right away. So, yep. Anyways, we talked about the parasol issue. Some people said it was a non-issue. I thought it was funny, the fact that it's going viral. I understand because like we go over the top with that, the parasol trend in Korea. You might be pretty surprised if you go to like populated areas. But yeah, at the end, I don't think it's linked to racial bias. It's more a practicality issue, I think. Yeah, that's my take. It's very practical, right? Okay, and we have some good news over here. Ryan if he's still in the chat, might love this. Huntrix will be back to protect the Heung-min. So it's all happening just like we dreamed. According to The Wrap, Netflix is cooking up a massive expansion for K-pop Demon Hunters, and yes, that includes sequels. Word is they're planning not only part 2 and 3, but also live action film, new animated series, musical, and even short form spin-offs. They are really milking it. Netflix reportedly sees K-pop Demon Hunters as a brand that could go beyond what Frozen achieved, and they're going all in. I mean, I'm thinking like I'm probably not the only one that immediately thought of Frozen when I saw the whole frenzy and craze over K-pop Demon Hunters, because like there's so many similarities. I don't think the audience is exactly the same. I would say Frozen is a little bit under there, but like K-pop Demon Hunters appeals to not only the younger audience but even teenagers and adolescents and all that, and even adults too. The music is amazing. But Frozen has a kind of a different vibe. I liked Frozen in general, but like I think like the adults that liked it were more like parents that were watching with their kids and let it go and all that. Yeah, but okay, there were a lot of similarities, and the fact that their OSTs and the soundtracks went viral and it just hit the Billboard charts. Right now it's Spotify #1. I heard for the first time ever in 13 years, ever since Gangnam Style topped the UK chart, the UK music chart. They have a separate chart, and we know that UK people are very very picky people, right, in terms of music. Like the UK has a lot of amazing bands in music, but Golden has finally became number 1 in the UK charts after Gangnam Style, and that wasn't achieved by BTS nor Blackpink or anybody. So yeah, that's pretty impressive, right? Pretty impressive. So yeah, there you go. We're gonna have a part 2, part 3, live action film, animated series, musical, and short form spin-offs. I think they're kind of overdoing it. Like, it might be good to just make a Frozen, like a K-pop Demon Hunters season 2 or maybe 3. That might be interesting, but like live action, I kind of disagree on the live action thing. They are precious and valuable because they are fictional characters, in my opinion, and the graphics and the detail and the aesthetics and whatever you can pull off with the animation, I think that is one of the biggest aspects of Huntrix and K-pop Demon Hunters success points. But once it becomes live, I have my doubts on it, quite honestly. Musical might fly. I think that's a different alley, and it could be theatrical. So I feel like musical, like, these are all my personal gut feelings, so they're all irrelevant. But just just to voice my opinion, I think a live action film, I'm against that. Yeah. Disney will elbow their way into the trend at some point. Well, actually, right now there's allegedly a Japanese version of K-pop Demon Hunters coming out. It's very similar in concept. I forgot the name, but yeah, if you read the article, it's about like a Japanese version of an idol group that have special abilities or whatever, and yeah, such and such. So everybody's trying to jump on the trend. Let's see how it turns out, right? But like you have to admit, the music is amazing. I went to the gym today, and right now, like, Golden and like the Saja Boys and everything, it just pumps adrenaline, and it's so good. It's so good. Like most things, it'll get overdone and ruined. Yeah, that's the downside of having global platforms and like huge capital behind. Because of that capital, you make initially a amazing product, but because of that greed, it just ruins the IP over and over as it gets overdone. So that's what happened to Squid Game. And speaking of Squid Game, irrelevant, but Alice in Borderland is a nice series that was quite similar to Squid Game and Battle Royale, and I thought it ended pretty well, but apparently they're making another series of it right now. Squid Game's gonna have Squid Game America, and they say they have a whole universe planned. Marvel extended quite too long in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It should have ended at Avengers, what do you call it? The last, what is it? The Thanos thingy, but then it extended. And I understand as a corporate you need to go for the money, but like I think when you're at your peak and everybody's clapping, that's when you have to leave. Like, just revamp, like, make a totally new series. Just don't milk it over and over again. I think that's what happened to Star Wars too. I was pretty impressed with the early stage Star Wars series, but like they made like spin-offs and went back in time and sequels and all that, and it just kind of lost my interest in it. Yeah. The music is playing in the stores here in Florida. Yeah, I've heard it's playing all over the globe, in Sweden, everywhere, right? Endgame, yes, thank you. A musical will be interesting. I think so too, yes. Yeah, so there you go. We have a Huntrix coming back. Demon Hunters has to strike while the iron is hot. That is true too. That is true. Yeah. But if you rush it, you never know. Yeah, and I think it's going to be really a huge pressure to the producers and the artists related to create something that tops that. Yeah. That can top that. Okay, on to the next news. We have 312 people watching. Yay, let's go. We haven't hit that 300 in a while, so while you're here, please smash that like button if you appreciate my stream and feel like it's entertaining and informational. Please show your support via Super Chat or PayPal in the pinned comment over there. I would really appreciate that. Let's check if there are any PayPal so far. Oh no, I'm so sad there's no PayPal. Anyways, yeah, let's go on to the next scandalous topic over here. K-netizens say they're tired of seeing female idols lower butt cheeks due to excessively short shorts. Okay, so quite conveniently, the scroll over here is just conveniently covering the butt cheeks. On the screen I can see. So if I scroll down a little bit, even my face over here is covering up Arin's butt cheek. But if you scroll down, oh, okay. I don't know who this one is. The first one is, but the second one is Minnie from G Idol, and this is Arin from Oh My Girl, right? Oh yeah, my face is covering it, right? So yeah, I should scroll down. Yeah, this looks perverted if I just chop their heads on the screen. This is not intentional, okay? The screen ratio is forcing me to do it. There's no other way. Like, let me try to get a sweet spot. Like, me trying to get a sweet spot is weird too. Anyways, you get the point, right? So like, these are some just sample pictures of what's going on in K-pop right now. Basically, the shorts are getting shorter and shorter, and we don't know if it's by their own will or the company's forcing them to do it, or the Codys or the designers, the stylists are saying that this is the trend or not. But one thing for sure is I do notice that the shorts are getting shorter. I've been a follower of K-pop since the first gen, second gen, third gen, and until like now, and I do see that it's getting more open-minded. Just kidding, just more open, and in terms of like expressing in clothing and all that, it's getting less conservative. And people might argue, oh, but back then you also had Girls' Day and Stellar and Sistar and all these, you know, sexy girl group concepts. But if you actually lay them out, in the entirety of the whole grand scheme of K-pop and their timeline, the fact that you can point those groups out that had a sexy concept and actually try to sell that concept just, shows you that it was provocative back then. It was something that was challenging, and that's why it garnered so much attention. But nowadays, I guess what people here are saying is it's getting normalized, and more sexier outfits, more butt cheeks, or I don't know about cleavage, but like Korea, something about like mini skirts are okay, but cleavage is not okay. But nowadays, no, like that's not an exception nowadays either, because like if you think of Water Bomb, of course that's like an exclusive setting. It has a whole situation going on over there, but like in Water Bomb there are a lot of groups or certain idol members or whatever, or that voluntarily or involuntarily get focus on their breasts as well. Like I can name a few artists that, because like I'm also a victim of the algorithm and shorts. Like during Water Bomb season, all I can see on shorts, I swear to God, I do not binge view these videos. They just pop up on my feed, probably because I'm a Korean man in his 30s and everybody's watching them and getting 10 million views. I always get Kwonunbi videos, Karina videos, Signature, whoever, and there's this new girl named Chaeyeon or something. I don't even know which group she's from, but people are like, oh dang, she got something going on over there. So yeah, so I mean, yeah, let's talk about boobs, but butt cheeks have become pretty normal nowadays, I do have to admit. And it's not even like a sexy concept anymore. It's just like the clothes, the style has just changed like that. And yeah, people, as this article is saying, K-netizens, I don't know who these K-netizens are, but K-netizens say they're tired of seeing female idols lower butt cheeks. One thing for sure, let me read that again. K-netizens say they're tired of seeing female idols. K-netizens say they're tired of seeing female idols lower butt cheeks. One thing for sure is not the males. I can firmly say these K netizens do not refer to men. You know, I'm not going to go behind the logic and explain all of that, but I'm pretty sure that men are not included in the term K netizens over there. Okay, let's get that out of the picture. So 50% is, and then also there's gonna be the female fans, right? Like, which I'm assuming that are having these complaints over like seeing butt cheeks. But then there are female fans and international audience, and they're like, you know, like girls can do anything. Like it's her own body. Like she's a grown woman. Like, you know, she chose that outfit. Like, what's so scandalous about it? Like, we're living in the 21st century. Like, do whatever you want to do. If she's comfortable about it, go girl, right? So I think if we put out that fraction, there's gonna be a little minor, I don't know if it's demographic wise, like a certain age, or if it's a certain ideology, like, but yeah, there is a group of people that are complaining about this. I guess, like, if you have your own, like, maybe, like, I'm getting into, like, very sensitive issues right now, so let me tone down a bit. But what I've seen, especially for, like, the next piece of news over here, speaking of Lisa in particular, because she's one of the biggest K-pop idols out there. She's, like, pretty much the representative girl group out there, right? So fans debate whether Blackpink's Lisa's shorts were too revealing at a recent concert. So she showed her butt cheeks here too with this, you know, pants or shorts, right? And that got pretty much backlash, and I saw some of the comments too. And what I'm talking about when I'm talking about sensitive is, like, okay, like, Lisa has a lot of fans from Southeast Asia and all around the world in general. Like, she has, I don't know, a gazillion of followers, right? And I've seen a group of people that frown upon this kind of outfit or behavior because it goes against their ideology or religion in some case. And I understand that. That can be respected if, you know, that's not good behavior or that's not respected behavior in a certain part of someone's beliefs and all that. But I do think imposing that upon a different individual or individual woman that's a grown-up that has their own choices, and, you know, saying negative stuff about it and, like, kind of pressuring the person isn't really a right thing to do at the same time. Like, you know, like, I guess there's different layers of criticism, but some people are like, oh, I'm kind of disappointed, this kind of throws me off, like, you know, I like the old Lisa better, or, you know, like, that doesn't really make her look good. I guess those kind of disappointment is freedom of speech, right? I don't think they have the intention to hurt her or anything, but there are some, like, very thorny comments that say, like, oh, she's totally, like, you know, lost it. I won't go further, but a lot of very bad words and bad comments I've seen a lot, not only from, like, a certain group of people, but just people in general. Like, we don't even have to go into, like, ideologies or religion or beliefs, like, just people in general. There are conservative people and there are people like K netizens, right? And they just don't like seeing that kind of stuff. They just think it's bad. So yeah, my take is, like, I mean, as an individual, I'm like, go for it. Like, yeah, it looks beautiful. Looks beautiful, you're fit, you worked out for that, you want that, it's self-expression, do whatever you want. Yeah, but so, like, that's my individual point of view, but I would say it's a slippery slope, though. Like, there needs to be some kind of caution. Like, we can't wholeheartedly say it's always okay. So, like, just to side a little bit towards the opposite side of view is, like, I kind of discussed this on DK News, but if this makes, like, a chain effect and it becomes super normalized, that if an individual, like, we don't know Minnie or Arin or Lisa or whatever, every single female idol out there agrees or likes dressing like that, right? But because K-pop has power dynamics, and there's like a tepyo, there's like a representative, there's like staff members, there's stylists, and then there's the idols, and they're bound by contracts, and there's often very big authority and power dynamics within it. And the company says like, oh, that other group is doing it, that other member did it and became super successful, like, let's try this concept on you too, you got good physique. And if it goes into that kind of those boundaries, that is very dangerous, I would say. So that's why I was cautious about when I was talking about water bomb in general, because, you know, it's okay if like Kwon herself like likes to put her body out there, like, you know, it's beautiful and people love her for it, and she's gaining a lot of profit from it too. It's okay, but we never know what's going behind the scenes for like these rookie groups, like idols that are in their early stage that don't have much say about it, and their company might be stressing or pressuring them to do it to some extent, referencing other idols or 선배s that are like putting it out there. So it's very hard to actually like police that or anything, but I would say that's the only amount of valid criticism I can see as an angle when we're talking about this discussion. That's just, yeah, my opinion. Anyways, yeah. We've had naked statues for thousands of years. This isn't new. Crash Override has a very very strong point of view now today, right? No, the Taeyong controversy is coming up. We are over the Trump negotiation piece, so leave them in the comments, please. You are young only once. If you have a good body and want to show it off, then do so. It won't be perfect forever. Yeah. Lol, David is suffering under the algorithm. My prayers are out. Let me check my algorithm right now. What do I get? I'm just gonna turn on YouTube right now. Oh, it's not on KPC, it's on DKDKTV, but let me go to KPC because that's my YouTube premium account. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I can show you my algorithm. So, I mean, this one's a little yeah. Okay, I'll show you. So, I have, okay, that stupid AI video with boobs, I swear to God, it's not because I watch those kind of videos. It's because I watch a lot of anime. As you can see, you have Sasuke down here too. I watch a lot of movies. So you have the Wolverine, and there's like some stocks and how to become successful, and like tariffs, and like crypto, billions in Bitcoin, and we have more Naruto, and like how much did you earn in Korea, like Japan, the yen and Bitcoin, and this is basically my algorithm right now. Sun Heung-min, and so yeah, like I proved myself. Like I don't watch weird shit. Like the algorithm just sends me like very weird, very racy, you know, kind of content when the time occurs. So yeah, I proved myself, right? We believe you, David. Yes, please. I see David's taste by his algorithm. The idols must still be comfortable enough to dance without having to worry about wardrobe malfunction. David is showing us his algorithm. Yeah, that's what Korean people do nowadays when they go to blind dates. They're like, let's stop beating around the bush. Just give me your phone, and then they go inspect each other's Instagram, what do you call it, search tab, because that's the algorithm and that represents you, and their YouTube algorithm, and they're like, okay, what do you have here? Oh, kittens. Oh, puppies. Okay, wholesome person. Okay, self work, working out. Okay, that's good. But then once you have like naked people, okay, oh shit, I cannot show you my Instagram algorithm. Nope. I'm not showing you my Instagram algorithm. Instagram, what the hell are you doing? Like, I didn't. If you want to see my Instagram algorithm, nah. Oh my gosh. What? This is unfair. I swear to God, I did not watch that much of that kind of content. No, that is not fair, but I cannot show you that. Well, I wouldn't say it's that bad, but still, it does have some scandalous. Yeah, it's okay, but there are some kind of questionable takes. More PG than I was expecting, says Nostalster. If you want to see my Instagram algorithm, you know what to do. Oh, speaking of PayPal, thank you. It's very hard to pronounce your name. I'll try my best. Wow, this is really hard. Agnieszka, thank you for the 15 pizza for that SPF. Okay, thank you so much for the SPF. And wait, is this today? Oh, Lynn, thank you so much for the 20 pizza. Have a good meal today. Yay! Thank you so much for your PayPal. Well received. Yes, I will have a good meal today. And I do have to do a shout out. I totally have to do this because I was super surprised. Sylvia, if you're in the chat, if you're watching this right now, if you're rewatching this right now, I did send you an email separately, but like, wow, that was a generous PayPal. Thank you so much for that last time. And I don't understand why you sent it after the stream was over. Maybe I missed it, but like that was huge. So thank you so much for that. If you're watching, pizza mega combo super size pizza. Thank you so much. And don't like think I got like 10K or $1,000 or something, okay? Like, yeah, I'm just thanking her so much for her generosity. Sylvia, thank you so much. PayPal means a higher pitched David. Yes, PayPal means you can unlock my Instagram search feed. show it. Nah, I'm gonna leave you guys like that as a cliffhanger. Yep. Okay, enjoy, gotta go. Okay, stay woke. Thank you. 327 people watching. Thank you so much. We only have 124 likes. Let's get that like button up to 200 at least. Yes. Okay, and we have the news of the day. Quite honestly, the criticism itself, I personally think it's okay. I'll save my words. Let's get into the news first. So, my favorite BTS member, my bias from day one, V, the most handsome. I will say this, like, personally, I think he's the most handsome out of all the members. I don't want to compare or anything, but my personal beauty aesthetics just say that, and a lot of people say that he's the most beautiful, handsome figure in the world. I totally agree, and he's got even more masculine and buff in the military. I feel very weird as a 34-year-old Korean guy simping over a BTS member, but it is what it is. I just can't take a blind eye on pure beauty over there. But he is winning. He is just killing us. Everybody is just dead by his recent comeback in Coca-Cola ads. So, actually, he is the best Coca-Cola model ever. Here we have BTS V, and the Coca-Cola marketing team hit me up. I've got compliments to hand out. Oh, says the editor. BTS V has been just named the newest Coca-Cola ambassador. Actually, this is in his first rodeo. In 2018, BTS teamed up with Coca-Cola, and V was already a perfect fit then. Maybe that signature Coke cap he always rocks had something to do with bringing him back. So, yeah, okay, so he was wearing this during one of his reality shows, I think. But if you look at his ad, it's Zero Coke. New Zero Coke. And we have more pictures, but Okay, so like I'll show you more pictures, but basically, you know, he became the Coca-Cola ad model, right? And I think he's a great fit. Coca-Cola is unarguably like the number one soft drink in the world, right? It's exported to all the different nations in the world. No single place does not have Coca-Cola. There's even rumors that North Korea still has Coca-Cola. Does Russia have Coca-Cola? Probably, right? And there was a funny saying from an investor or something, like even if all the businesses fail due to some apocalyptic kind of event, like there's a power shortage or whatever, and we can't use the internet and blah blah blah, like all the Google, the Magnificent Seven, the Google, the Facebook, Netflix, Nvidia, and all these different Instagram, these companies malfunction, and Apple, all them. One group is going to survive, one company is going to survive, and that's going to be Coca-Cola. That I don't know who said that, but like, yeah. And Warren Buffett's big on Coca-Cola. That's like his big stock. Like, that's a company that's never going to fail. That's what he said. So yeah, Coca-Cola is a number one soft drink company. However, there's, I think, a little bit of a bump and buzz about V being a Coca-Cola ambassador and ad model. So I was not aware of this until I saw some comments in the Instagram post and like comments from the news articles, and I was like, is this really an issue? And I did some digging on Twitter, on X, and I guess there is a fair amount of people like talking about this. I don't want to give this that much spotlight, but at the same time, I do want to counter it. I don't want to counter it with my own words, but I want to counter it with some nice threads that organized, why V has nothing to do with the criticism. So that's more of the purpose on why I'm sharing this news, rather than to make more buzz. So if you go to this X post, I'm not trying to clock this person or anything. It's just a post that popped up first. So V doing the campaign with Save Children in Gaza bracelet. So apparently his bracelet stands for something, for Save Children in Gaza. And he did the campaign. And this is the Coca-Cola ad you seeing over here. It's not the actual ad. Yeah, it's like the behind the scenes with Fast Paper Mag. And he's looking good. He's looking handsome, looking fresh, looking good in that red, right? And yeah, he's amazing, right? But then, okay, you gotta let me log in. You gotta log in to see the comments. So basically what's going on is there's this movement, I don't remember, it's called the BDS movement. It's a movement against corporates that support some kind of aid, a financial aid to the Israel-Palestine kind of conflict and the Gaza incidents that's happening. So I want to be very politically neutral over here, so I don't, please understand me being careful, but there has been a lot of people pointing out that there are a lot of companies out there that support the war over there, and so one of those companies is Coca-Cola, along with Starbucks, along with McDonald's, and it goes on, the list goes on. And because BTS was made the advertising model of Coca-Cola, there was a little bit of buzz within maybe the fandom or with outside the fandom, or I don't know, that are just very, very dedicated and invested in this issue, and I understand that. But to be fair, that's why I found this explanation over here when I was looking through the thread, because I was interested too on how Hybe or BTS, the PR team, or like themselves would go through this, because I feel like this would follow them. And BTS has always stood for like good, positive vibes. So if you look over here in the Twitter thread, this is very annoying that I have to switch from this browser to the next one. I'm trying my best over here. So if you look at this Twitter thread, yeah, you can see it, right? So yeah, we have this thread, and yeah, so if you look at this post over here, it says, yes, Coca-Cola Korea is a separate entity from the global Coca-Cola company, specifically operating as Coca-Cola Korea Bottling Company. It is the leading beverage company in South Korea and is responsible for manufacturing, distribution, and customer support of Coca-Cola products in the region, according to this systems group. And blah blah blah, you can read that. It's a private company, not publicly traded. The company has been operating in South Korea since 1996 and employs approximately 33,000 people. It handles the production, distribution, and sales of Coca-Cola products in South Korea, and blah blah blah. So from what I know, like even before I read this article, I also had some kind of knowledge on Coca-Cola in Korea too, because I invest heavily in the stock market, and I've always known that Coca-Cola is owned by LG's Hangang. It's a group from LG. LG is the mother company, but they focus on like daily goods, from toothpaste to soft drinks to whatever. They're very famous for that. And Coca-Cola signed a deal with them, so they're basically like outsourcing the product productions, distribution, and all that to LG's Hangang. So that's what I knew too, and LG's Hangang has all the rights to whatever they do about like marketing or campaign or whatever for Coca-Cola. I'm not sure on marketing, don't quote me on that, but from what this is saying, yeah, it's an independent entity from the global Coca-Cola company. Thus, also Coca-Cola put out against the inquiry about like donations to Israel. As a global company operating in 206 countries with diverse economic, political, and religious backgrounds, the Coca-Cola company does not support any country, government, or policy, political, or religious belief. In this context, the claim that Coca-Cola's income is transferred to Israel is false. That's at least what Coca-Cola is saying, okay? And obviously that's what they're going to say. So I would not put that much weight into that statement, but for the fact that Coca-Cola Korea and global Coca-Cola is separate is a fact so far. And yeah, so here it is, LG Household and Healthcare. That's the English name over here. It operates independently from Coca-Cola Israel and has no ties to the Israeli government, military, or settlements. Taehyung is working with Coca-Cola Korea, not the global or Israeli division. Yes, and you can see Coke's, press release or whatever on the issue. So yeah, basically, I want to be very careful on this issue. Of course, the cause matters, and it's a very sensitive issue. It's a horrible kind of incident that's happening, and I won't prolong my takes or details on it because I'm walking on eggshells over here. But as far as it goes for BTSV and Taehyung and him being the ambassador and model of Coca-Cola, I think what that post just said, that it being independent and it doesn't have to do anything with the income stream going to Israel or whatever, makes sense. And also, like, some people might argue though, like, the image is what's important. After all, like, he's endorsing a brand that's mother company is going to profit out of the earned gains from Korea, and it's going to be transferred for that. But like, in that sense, in this capitalistic society, everything is so intertwined, from raw materials to everything, plastic and cans and aluminum, and so in that sense it's hard to get out of that kind of loop or narrative, I would say. And that's pretty unfair to put heavy criticism on V that probably does not have the intent of, yeah, what the accusations are claiming, right? And while some people are saying that the bracelet is ironic, one thing for sure is that, like, he had intent in initially getting that bracelet, right? Whether or not he knew about Coca-Cola and the accusations while he was doing the shoot or not. Like, separate from that, when he got the bracelet, he knew about the cause and he wanted to support. So I think they should put more value and weight on that. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna read some comments. And Starbucks in Korea is owned by Shinsegae Group. That's a similar case as well. Thank you for pointing it out, Michael. So when I was drinking out of a Starbucks tumbler, someone in my chat was saying like, "Oh, are you like supporting the Zionists and Israel and whatever?" And quite honestly, I mean, I knew it in the back of my head maybe that Starbucks, like, there might be some ties, but in Korea, first of all, it's an independent group, and if Coca-Cola and Starbucks and everything, then where does it stop? Like, are we going to go into like the coffee materials and like the manufacturers, and there's like local manufacturers and local businesses and local consumers, and it's very hard. And I felt like it was unfair to get clocked on stream for having a Starbucks mug cup just like that. And I feel like being painted in that kind of way just because I had a Starbucks mug cup in that specific stream is unfair, including to myself and a lot of people like BTSV as well too. So I mean, I know it's a very serious issue, and I don't want to undermine it or anything, but it's a very sophisticated and delicate issue. But as far as it goes for like Coca-Cola Korea and BTSV, I feel like like, because it's independent, and also HYBE, the label, Big Hit Music and everybody would have probably gone through and checked like if it's okay if we're not getting into any like controversies or trouble. So if their team decided that this was safe and okay and positive for V to be like an ambassador, then I would also, as a fan, like, okay, you might call me biased to some extent, but yeah. And then like, it could extend to like I think Coca-Cola did collab with New Jeans before too, and I think there was it IVE? I don't know. For sure Sprite, which is also a Coca-Cola company. Karina's doing the model too, so I don't know. Like, maybe these people might be haters, like maybe a few of them, maybe not. I don't want to make a decisive comment on that, but yeah, like, one thing for sure is like V definitely is not like saying a statement here, right? So yeah, I'm quite scared to read the comments at the moment, but I'm pretty sure you guys have your own opinions and you're debating in the comment section right now. So let me go through some and read some, and let's see. I'm a New Jeans fan, but I also like that V is now the Coca-Cola ambassador. He has always supported New Jeans as well. It's fine that he's the ambassador, even though I haven't liked the company for a long time. It's okay to separate the two. Yes, I had a flashback to Taehyung's unfortunate mispronunciation of Coke. Oh, like cock, right? You can like a product but not 100% fully support the company. It's not black and white as some people make it out to be. That's a good way to put it. It's weird how people will connect someone getting a paid job as them being for or against whatever is going on. To be honest, I don't think him not endorsing it would have any impact when the US is fully supporting that war. It's like LeBron being ambassador of Nike and avoiding the topic of sweatshops and slave labor making his right. Oh, okay, I don't know about that. I can't speak on that. people want to stop using products because they don't like the company politics, then they should just start making their own products at home. To cancel someone because they promote Coke or Starbucks is stupid, says Chamber. Yeah. Okay. If you look into it, these companies own a lot more than what people would think, including snack foods and household items. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, in the capitalistic society, capital is spread over in forms of shares or investments, or like in supply chains, or whatever. So, like distributors. So does that mean like a retail shop like Costco or like E-Mart or supermarkets that sell Coca-Cola products and malls that have Starbucks? Where does it, where do you draw the line if an ambassador is problematic too? So yeah, it's pretty hard. Most of us on the ground don't see the separation. It does make sense. Yeah. Wholeheartedly agree with David. Thank you, Lily. Even drinking a soda is politically fused. It's ridiculous. Are these people boycotting all establishments that serve or sell all products of the company? Yeah, I think, we're speaking in similar lines here. Yeah. These deal with Coca-Cola is all about money. These guys do what is suggested to them without even looking deeper into it. Remember Jungkook and the World Cup. It was again about money. Okay, respectfully, Springview, I think that's half right and half wrong. The part about money and it getting suggested to them, that's right. And the company could highly recommend it to these people. And for the Jungkook part too, for the World Cup, I think if you're referring to like the Qatar World Cup and the buzz behind it, like the labor exploitation things and whatever, you have a point there. But quite recently, I saw an article from about BTS Jin. He said himself that he gets piles and piles of brand endorsement options, and he carefully selects what he wants to do, and he rejects 90% of all of them because he just doesn't feel like he really connects with the brand, or he just doesn't feel right about it. Or so, like, at the end of the day, I think they have a lot of say in it, whether it's about money or not. And I guess like it's different from individual member if they are going for the money, if they want to do this brand or not. So yeah, but like what I just want to say is I saw that article that Jin really just opened up about brand selections and doing endorsements. So yeah. Ive is Pepsi. Okay, yeah, that's where I was confused. Hello, feel the vibe. International brands are intertwined. Nestle owns so many brands worldwide, people would be surprised. Yeah, I was pretty surprised too when I was in an advertising agency. My client was Koss Beer, and we had some other beer brands and whatever. And I always thought Koss was a Korean brand, which it is, but then I learned that the mother company was like some Dutch brand or something called AB InBev, and I'm pretty sure they had like most of the stakes in Koss or OB or something like that, and I didn't really go deep into it because I was an intern back then. But yes, like as you said, Nestle or Coca-Cola or all these global capitals that have their shares or investments or whatever part they have in these brands. Yeah. Yup, he said the members get tons of offers. Yes. I missed the super chat? Okay, let me scroll back. It was a while ago. Where did I miss it? Oh, I'm not seeing it here. Let me go back to the board. Thank you, Rachel, for the 5 pizza. I can't put you on the Jumbotron, but if you and V were in the same convenience store and there was one Coke Zero left, would you let V take it? What do you mean? Of course I would let him take it. Why not? I won't die without that. And if I'm in the convenience store with V, I would be too frozen to do anything. Like if he was standing right in front of me and we were looking at the Coke Zero, I'd be like, oh, 가지세요. 하세요. Oh, he's even younger than me, but still I'd be like, 하세요. We have a saying in Korea, if you're more successful or if you're more rich, then you're a Hyung. So he would be like a Hyung to me in presence and aura wise. Yeah. Anyways, that was the news about V. But to go on a little bit more about V, why I respect him so much is he recently came out and talked about a sensitive topic, but it had to be talked about. No one really stepped up and talked about it. And oh, where did it go? Okay. Oh yeah, I switched back to the screen, but. Yeah, V leads the comeback of Purple Line. So Purple Line is basically what ARMY made. It was a 2018 fan-led campaign about using purple ribbons to maintain safe distances and reduce airport chaos. And it seems to have disappeared lately, but I'd be so thankful if that culture came back. Which means he openly spoke out about airports being public spaces, not personal ones, and he stressed the importance of keeping order. And whether this stems from his own frustration or not, or whether he saw like some articles about like idols being, stampeded over from diehard fans, fan cams, and all these people. If you see an idol in an airport, you gotta run away. Like I've seen a few occasions myself, and these people are crazy. They will just shove their cameras like through your elbows and whatever, and they will just run. People just trip on each other, and yeah, I'm concerned about like some people getting hurt. And the bodyguards are very fierce too because of that. They're very hostile because they're doing their jobs too, and there are safety issues. So it's a double-edged sword because the bodyguards have no choice but to act like that. Sometimes they go overboard because they're human beings too, and they get annoyed. But if they don't act like that, these fans do not retreat. These people, some of them, I feel like they are actually crazy. But because of this kind of behavior, it doesn't sit right to the public, and a lot of criticism is stirred up because the bodyguards act too aggressive, and they yell, and they use 반말 and like 비켜, like get out of the way and stuff. And the idols are just there like walking like a runway and stuff, and they don't want to do that either, but like it's for their safety and it's for the public safety, and that just doesn't sit well in the public lens. And people that are just commoners that are just trying to get their flights or transit or whatever, or watching on the media, are like, who are these people, and why are they privileged to like privatize a public space like an airport? That should not be happening. So it's frustrating for both sides, I would say. But it was very hard to actually speak out about it because like idols can't really have a say on this because there's a lot of branded deals behind it. Airport fashion is a thing, and they get a lot of sponsorships and 협찬s, like they get a lot of clothes or accessories or whatever, and they gotta wear it in the airport areas because all these fans are going to film it and post it on the internet. Oh, this idol's wearing that idol's wearing that. So there are back deals for that, and there are contracts for it. So like, I don't know, J-Hope might wear a lot of Louis Vuitton, or V might wear a lot of Celine, stuff like that. So there's complicated dynamics, and some of the companies actually leak the itinerary of the idols. So it's just very hard to actually speak up about this. But a figure like V right now, like he's on the top of the top of the top of K-pop. He's on top of his own label and management. Like BTS, there's nothing above them. Like, they can say whatever they want unless it doesn't go against their contract. So, like, I think it's very brave that he actually spoke up about this on behalf of all the idols, and also in concern of the fans' safety as well. So, yeah, applaud to him. Applaud to him. A guy like him, you know, massive respect. And Dolly Baby, thank you for the $20 PayPal. Pizza. I don't care. I will enjoy my cola and coffee. Okay. Okay, Dolly Baby. Bold. Yeah. Bold statement. Thank you for the $20. Pizza. I stand with V on this. People need to learn about boundaries and decency. People are entitled to personal space and their individual safety. Yes, I've seen a lot of negative press on this group called Hearts to Hearts because they've already made like 2 scandals, 2 scenes in the airport related to all of this. So even before I knew about like their like viral dance nowadays, they're an SM rookie girl group that's becoming super popular. But like the first occasion that I got to know about Hearts to Hearts was like a mess up in the airport. So yeah, I'm glad V spoke up about this. He was almost run over on his way to Paris. It was really scary. Yeah, that might have triggered him personally to speak up about this, and that's totally valid, you know. The purple line isn't needed if these crazy people respect the space and privacy of celebrities. The bodyguards are right. Yeah, but the world is a crazy place. How do the public know that the idols are traveling in the first place? As I told you, there are a lot of people we don't know. Individuals that are within the airport staff, that are in the company staff, or who are just hasengs that follow them 24/7. Any one of them could obtain the information and just leak it. Yeah. And normally it's like 100% all leaked. Yeah. But just to share a very interesting story, when I was working as like a part-timer for Hong Kong Mama, back then I was like a coordinator for idol schedules and their transportation. So my job was to safely get the idols from point A to point B and get them into the shuttle and get them to the hotel. So BTS was there too. And when BTS came out, fans had been camping there like 12 hours before. And someone probably leaked their schedule and their information and which gate they were coming out from. And there's no way stopping that, right? So for the like other artists that are less popular, it's okay because there's not as much traffic and the fans are just like waiting there for BTS and some idol groups. So like when I was just taking hip hop idols and artists and other artists, it was just fine. Like they wouldn't even care. But it was super secretive when it got to BTS because we would use codes, like we would use we would use like these plan cards that had like secret codes and secret pictograms on it that we would pre-coordinate with the staff from like idol groups, and they would recognize us as official staff because of the code, and they would follow us, and we would take them to the official shuttle and all that. And we had like the schedule sheets ourselves, right? Like the timetables, the gates where these idols are coming out from, which airline they're taking. And those ones, we were specifically instructed never to leave those sheets detached from our body, and never to actually flip it through in the public, not in the airport or whatever. Go to a private space like a bathroom or the corner or wherever. We were not allowed to look through the schedules or the timetables in an open like airport setting. And the reason was because these crazy fans have like these crazy like magnifying zoom lenses. They are lurking somewhere from like the second floor or somewhere over there, and they're targeting the staff. They already identify the staff, and when the staff flips through their sheets, they zoom in with their cameras, mega cameras, and they snapshot that. They take a photo of that, and they get all the information, and that's how it's get leaked at some in real time. And that was really, really shocking to me. Like, whoa, you got to take this much precautions. So for the case of BTS, they were already huge back then. Even like it was like 2000, I don't know, 21 or something. I have no idea. But for BTS, even the staff was double. What do you call it? Deceived or like tricked. Like the information we got wasn't even the correct information. Only the higher management level staff got the correct information, and it was changed last minute or something. And we were waiting for them at like the wrong place, and then fans were waiting at some place else that was like the initial leaked information. We got like the secondary information. We were waiting there, and we were looking at the fans and seeing like, oh, poor them, like they camped out for like 12 hours. Like, I mean, I kind of feel bad for them, like stuff like that. They weren't even sleeping and all that, just to get a glimpse of their idols. And then we were all talking amongst ourselves like, oh, poor them, poor them. And then once they actually came, we saw the group chat, and it was like, okay, BTS has successfully taken their van and they're transporting right now to the hotel. And I was like, what? They didn't come out? And then later we heard that we were like also tricked as well too. So yeah, that's the level of security these stars have to go through. And also the airport was got a special request so that they could like conveniently go through the gates or like the checkpoints without like traffic or anything like that. So it was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah. But totally agree with Fee over here. Like, he totally has a point, and it's a valid point, and I'm glad he made that. Let's see. I don't understand either why they act like that. I have no idea. The new purple line is stay your ass at home. V and JK are basically assaulted at the airport. It's ridiculous and dangerous. Yeah. Didn't ICN, Incheon Airport, have a private entrance available for a while, but some people complained about special privilege, so they got rid of it? Yes, that's what happened. I was going to make a piece about this, but it just passed by. But yeah, Incheon Airport, they made like a special gate for celebrities and stuff, but the standards were so like subjective, like who's big enough to go through that and not, and like, so, and why do these people get privileges when they're getting on planes? Blah, blah, blah. So they just got rid of it. Yeah. I don't feel bad for the fans. They're literally stalking them, David. No, like these fans. Okay, the fans that really stalk them are problematic, but there are some fans that get the information like afterwards. Like, let's say a group of fans, like the initial stalkers who purchased the information or something, they arrive at the spot and they reserve the first top spots, and then obviously on X or Twitter the fans are going to like grow and grow. Like, there are going to be waves of fans arriving, right? Like, people at home are going to be like watching, scrolling through X and say like, oh, the fans say like BTS is going to arrive. Like, it's public information by then, and then it makes a huge crowd. So there were like lines and lines of fans, like people who arrive late and all that. So yeah, there are just like those kind of fans too. It's hard to like distinguish them, and I honestly think it's kind of weird to stay overnight at an airport. But like, I kind of understand at the same time when you really love this person, and this person just changed your life, and this person is an actual idol for you. And let's say you live in a country like I don't know, Zimbabwe, and the chances of BTS visiting are so slim that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for you. Like I would consider going to the airport. Most likely not if I lived in like some other like Korea or Japan, but like if it's another country, yeah, maybe. But like every person's standards and motives are different, so I can respect that as long as it doesn't intrude their privacy or their personal space. Yeah. What are you thinking of? Where are these thoughts coming from? They showed respect when they each went for their army service, so why can't they keep that up for everything else? For the people? The fans? Yeah, I mean, that's just the showbiz and entertainment scene for you. It's inevitable. You know, like, not only for BTS, but if you look at Justin Bieber, this is all speculation, but like he looks kind of done. You know, he's not. He doesn't look like he's in the right place. Nowadays, if I see like his social media posts and stuff, or like pictures of him, and that's because of like extreme paparazzi and people invading his space and like waiting in front of hotels and stuff. And Kanye too. Like if you see some of his videos of him like dining out in the States, like people literally just blocking his way and like, you know, all that. So I understand to some extent for these celebrities. No, like, not that I understand them. Like, it's you gotta understand it's inevitable. Like, there will be crazy people. There will be people with like paparazzis, different motives, and all that. So it's sad. Oh, why is my hair so itchy suddenly? Maybe it's time to sleep. Yeah. I just don't understand the fascination with meeting celebs at the airport. Like, that's literally the worst place to meet them, especially because of crazy fans. The reason airports are so popular is because it's a public space. And it's a space that has no exception. You have to go through ID check, you have to get your tickets, you have to go through luggage check, and all of that. You have to board all together with other people. And because of that, you can't really protect yourself from the public. That's why these fans have the best opportunities and chances to get closest to their idols in an airport. Unlike an hotel or a company building or a concert backstage or TV station or whatever, like airports are a public space that you have 100% chance of seeing them if you are prepared. So that's the craze about it, I guess. But yeah. Anyways, guys, okay, let's go to our... How long have I been streaming? So for 2 hours, oh my god, time flies. I am a pro yapper, indeed. But I just brought this because this was an interesting topic. What would you do if you had a gun? And this means in Korea. Guns in South Korea are two subjects rarely linked in everyday discourse, but Netflix's new series Trigger challenges that perception, imagining what could happen if guns were suddenly introduced into a society already grappling and deepening social divisions. This is very interesting to me. Yeah, I'm very interested in this drama because there's always like a fun joke that goes on. Koreans have a lot of rage and depression too. I mean, we have the highest suicide rate, and there's massive competition, and yeah, like we have a lot of road rage specifically too. And anytime we see like a viral video of two people having like a conflict, like fighting at the supermarket or like crashing into each other on the road, and them like fighting and all that on the street, the most liked comment is always, "Thank God Korea doesn't have guns, because if we did, it would be worse than any other country," is what a lot of people think. Yeah, so that is a very interesting kind of point to imagine about. Not a very good one. Only policemen have access to guns here, and they're not even like heavy machine guns or anything. Or rifles. They are just like little pistol guns. So yeah, we barely have any guns. Some gangs could smuggle them in, but the gang presence in Korea isn't that big either. So yeah, guns are really just not an issue in Korea. But like this drama just imagines the thought. So I thought like the concept was very interesting, and why I'm talking about this is I recently did a series on Patreon called a watch party of the drama called S-Line, and S-Line stands for sex line, and it discovers the concept of having like a red line on top of you if you had sex with another person. And the concept is, what if the Korean society suddenly becomes to see these lines visibly? Like you can see who's had sex with one another, like how much times this person has sexual intercourse with how many people before marriage. Like what if this person is married but is having like an affair with like a coworker, blah blah blah. And whenever all these kind of different episodes or different dynamics or relationships happen, the drama just observes what would likely happen in a Korean society. And I thought that was very interesting, because it's just very unique to Korea, because Korea is just a very conservative society, and we just like silence about sex, and we don't openly talk about it that much, and it's still very just taboo. But on behind the curtains, there are a lot of affairs, there are a lot of like weird shit going on. Like one of the episodes, very dark, like the watch party became very dark towards the end, but there was like even like underage cases. Sadly, that is pretty widespread around the world, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was just very interesting to see like a simulated version of how people would perceive that kind of function in society if we could visibly see who was having an affair or like having sex with each other, and how we would judge each other. So that was very interesting. So go check out the Patreon watch party on Patreon if you want to check it out with me. If you just support $5, you get all these perks. You get access to the S-Line watch party and K-drama, K-pop reality shows. And if you want to get exclusive podcasts about my life and more extended versions of Korean society and issues, $10 a month, like, yeah, it's the best way to support me. But more than, what I, like, I'm not just trying to support my Patreon, but, in a sense I am. But, like, yeah, I did all the episodes over here. It's very interesting. But I'm thinking, like, because I put up a community post on Patreon saying like what should I do for the next watch party, I'm thinking of this one, maybe Trigger. So if you're a Patreon, we already have a big fam on Patreon so far, like more than 100 people, I think. So if you're part of the Patreon fam, let me know what you think about Trigger as being the next watch party. And right now, as a bonus watch party, I am going to react to 84 square meters. That's another interesting K-movie about how the Korean youth just get massive loans and just buy like apartments for themselves and get into trouble because of like the interest rates and conflicts with their neighbors and all that. So I'm gonna watch this one soon on Patreon, so go check that out if you want to join the watch party. So For only $5, you get the whole archive. You get all the access to the back catalogs and onwards as well too. So go check out that. But going back to the gun theory, like I think there is some truth to that joke, saying like, because we have a lot of anger and oppressed feelings within our society, because everyone's just like, just pushed into a box, and we always just thrive to be the top spot, successful, excel over other people, always have to be beautiful, well put, fit, and near perfect, right? We always compare ourselves to each other. Luxury, like living in a good house, trying to go to Seoul, get a good job, going to Samsung, whatever. Because of this stress, I feel like, like if we had guns, I feel like that's going to be what unfolds in this drama. So I'm really keen to check it out. But because of that stress, I feel like Korea would be a very, very dangerous society to introduce guns. And I think that would never happen. But if it were to happen, that would be, I think, the end of our society. I'm pretty surprised. Like, of course, there are horrible mass shootings, school shootings, and numerous deaths daily in the U.S. due to guns and firearms. I can't deny that. Like, it's just out there, right? And it's horrible. However, if we would just implement the same laws about like owning a gun for self-protection or like hunting or whatsoever in Korea the same way, I feel like to some extent like our society would crumble down. Like, it would be crazy. Yeah, I don't know about your own places, but because, as I told you, it's so compressed over here, everyone's just, when something happens, it happens and it goes overboard. And there was this even crazy old guy that built his own gun, actually last week, and shot his own son. And even schemed on shooting the wife and grandchild as well too. So it's crazy. Youth in South Korea are already under intense pressure. Imagine if they got easy access to guns. Nightmare. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. So when I saw the concept of this film, I was like, yeah, let me check it out actually. So Patreon or not, I'm going to give it a try. So yeah, if I just have your support and your green light, yeah, I think that's going to be our next series. And just right now, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the PayPal, The Bard. Thank you so much, The Bard, for an enormous, generous PayPal. You made my night and day. It's 2:55 a.m. going on for a while, but hope this was entertaining for you. And yeah, it's a new Monday and new week for me, so I will say goodbye now. But since I did promise some after chat and chill chat, other than the news, let's extend it for maybe like 8 more minutes, make the whole live stream like 2.5 hours, and just end it. So this is free chat time. You can ask any question or any kind of subject you want to, and yeah, shoot your questions. And by the way, I'm meeting John on Tuesday, because yeah, he reached out and he was like, yo, I'm sorry it took so long. So I would really like to invite him to the show. So I'm going to actually ask him when I meet. But we're going to have dinner together, so it's going to be nice. I will use your very precious PayPals to... I don't think I have to buy him a meal anymore. He's got a job. He's got a solid job. So he probably has to buy me a meal now. That's what we usually do in Korean culture. If someone lands a job, we say 한턱 쏘다. 한턱 쏴. That means like in celebration, in self-celebration, buy me a meal. Like with close people. And usually people do it because they feel good for themselves and, Yeah. No, we haven't talked about Alive yet, but we're just having dinner. Hmm. You gotta pressure him to do Alive. Go to his like Instagram or whatever, and tell him like, when are you gonna collab again with David on KPC? Why was your alarm clock missing in the last stream? Oh, what was the reason? So, oh yeah, it was because of the watch party. So when I do my watch parties, my face is in like a circle over here. Let me actually show you. Oh shit. Yeah, maybe you can see it in episode 2. Anyways, yeah, my face is in like a little circle over here to minimize your viewing experience. But I could see like the red clock behind my face, and I felt like that would kind of deter the viewing experience, because it was constantly blinking in the background, and if you're watching a drama, you don't want to get distracted by these like little things, right? So that's why I like just put it down. But now I'm doing a live stream, and I think it's good because it keeps track of what time it is actually. I do have to adjust it back to the real time, but still. If you could live in any city or place in the world, where would it be? I pretty much explained, talked about this a lot, but it was always the U.S., Singapore, or now it's Sweden or Norway. Yeah, among those countries. But it depends on the conditions, whether if I have money, whether if I have a job, like do I get the citizenship, do I get the welfare, you know, am I married already, or do I have a partner, or it all depends, right? Hey, Dolly baby, tell John I said hello. Yeah, I'll screen cap this and send it to him right now, ASAP. Yeah, let me actually screen cap that. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna send him the Kakao talk. Okay, thank you, pizza. Yes, I'll send it to him via DM just right after the stream. Yeah. There we go. You love the latest KPC podcast? Thank you so much. Unfortunately, as I expected, it didn't get too many views. But it is what it is. Yeah. It got 1.4 thousand views so far. My gosh. Is that Youngji? Youngji's doing Coach ads now? Okay. Yeah, it's this episode. Go check it out. It's about sustainability and whether Korea or Southeast Asia is doing it right or not. We have very talented sustainability leaders talking about it. So, yeah, if you have time, go check it out. Leave a like, leave a comment. You might learn some stuff, you know? Yep. Please hit the like button. Yes, please. I would love the Nordic countries or New Zealand. Oh yeah, New Zealand. John's from New Zealand. I've heard some good stuff about it. Youngji and Coach. Yeah, Youngji's cute. I work in the environmental field. We don't typically get a lot of views on related content, but it was so good to hear what's going on in SK, Indonesia, and Singapore. Yeah, I thought it was meaningful. You could marry me for citizenship. Your citizenship is worth How much did Trump say it was worth? $70 million or something? 7 million? The set looks pretty nice. Where did that discussion take place? The Singapore conference that invited me reserved a local podcast studio. Yeah, it was very expensive, but I'm thankful. Yeah, it was like $100 per hour or something like that. Yeah, for the people who are late, I didn't get the job, and it's unfortunate, but the excuse was that they were looking at the end, they were comfortable. So the head of the department was actually physically located and based in Los Angeles. So while they were looking for multiple candidates in Seoul and Los Angeles as well, the executive or director wanted someone directly located in Los Angeles. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. They said like they would reach out if they have any future opportunities or whatsoever. So uh, 7 million. How do you sell your citizenship? I don't know. If there's someone who wants to become an American citizen, U.S. citizen that bad, you could negotiate. I'm not gonna assume the company because, yeah, I don't want any kind of speculation or, yeah, anything to happen. But I have a good relationship with the company. Yep. No, you don't have to feel sorry. It was a bummer for sure. I kind of expected closing it, but I understand the reason, and also, as I told you in the beginning of the stream, it made me more motivated to focus on my stuff. And actually, I was kind of on the fence for it because I was waiting to hear the conditions, like the salary or the work, the work. How we work, is it remote or do I have to go 9 to 5 or every single day or something like that? And if I had to commute and dedicate more time than I could afford to, then it would be a no-go on my side as well too. And this is not me like trying to justify or anything. This was like a real concern. So if it didn't match my standards, then I would have been like, because like my lifestyle right now, even though it might get hectic, is too sweet to abandon, to sacrifice for like just a job that's gonna give me some extra money but like not gonna give me any upside or my personal growth. Like at the end, when I'm doing YouTube, creating my own content, doing my own business, it's improving myself and I'm growing something for my own. And also I get to work in a very convenient, stress-free environment at home, like no bosses. So like if I just invest that much time into my own stuff, then it's great at the end. But then there's always the lurking anxiety and insecurity of stability. That's the only caveat. Yeah. So, like I would say my lifestyle and what I have right now is super privileged, super advantageous, and super benefited. And I would not let go of it no matter what. If I would get like a Google job or something that pays me like San Francisco rate salary, then maybe. If I get like a visa sponsored to Singapore or whatever, and like this sponsorship and like a massive salary, then maybe. But if it's not that, no, I would not let go of my current lifestyle. But then it the thought goes back and forth, like, oh, what I have right now is so precious, but at the end, Oh, what do I do when I become 40? What do I do become when I become 45, 50? Am I gonna keep on doing the same stuff? Like, yeah, like if this doesn't work out or this doesn't grow that much, then I'll have to do another thing. But then I have to start from scratch again. So like all these kind of thoughts in my head. You know, oh no, Norwegian citizenship is worth a lot. Oh no. Norway is one of the richest countries in the world. It has the highest happiness index. It's up there in the top 5. It's the what do you call it? The sovereign wealth fund or whatever, like the oil over there. It's one of the 3 countries that are in national profit, not in deficit. Norway, Singapore, and UAE. You're gonna sell my citizenship for 7 mil and settle in Korea and retire early. That solid plan. Quite honestly, okay, like I am not supposed to say this, but I think I said it already. Yeah, there's no way, but I personally know a person, let's say like 2 bridges across. That's an American citizen. And this is a real story. I'm not faking it or anything. There was a very rich Korean guy, was like in his 50s or something, and he's married. He has a family, a very rich CEO, and of course he had a mistress. He was in an affair, and the girl was like a model or something. And what happened is, this guy is super rich, so he has his own like extra house in Los Angeles, and he does business in the US a lot, so that justifies him going back and forth from the US and Korea a lot. But this guy's a Korean person, and his mistress, his like affair, is Korean too. She's very young. She's in her early 20s. And what happened is, the girl wanted to be with the guy more, and without having to be on eggshells and tiptoeing every single time in Korea, watching out if she'll get caught by the family or the wife, and go through like massive lawsuits and whatever. And she also had a dream of going to America and becoming like a great model there. And the guy was like, yeah, I want that too. Like, I want to be free with you. I want to spend more quality time with you without having to hide or anything. And I could support your journey as becoming like a good model in the US. Like, obviously the place to be would be, is Hollywood or LA. So he was like, why don't we go there? But for the guy, he had like a, let's say, a sponsorship or a valid working permit or something like that, because he's rich. Like, he has a lot of ways to get that, right? So he had the rights to go back and forth to the US, and he actually owns property in the US. So like there wasn't an issue for him. But for the girl, she can only go there via like ESTA, like, travel visa or something. She can't stay in American soil for more than a certain amount of time. So she needs to get something to stay in America for the long term, right? And apparently the guy contacted a broker, and he was like, I want to acquire an American citizenship for this girl so that she can stay in America, like, legitimately. And the person I know, like 2 bridges across, was selected, like was contacted from the broker. And they were like, so we have this kind of deal, and he's offering this amount of money. And I heard that amount. It's not 7 million, nowhere near that, but it is a substantial amount of money. Let's say it's worth a person's 2 years worth of salary. Like, no, actually 3 years worth of salary. It's that much amount of money. So they were like, the broker was like, you're single, you're an American citizen, you live in Korea, you're not seeing anybody, so would you be down to do this? And the thing is, this person, the American I know, he's gay. He's not gonna get married in Korea. He's working in Korea, but he's not gonna get married in Korea. At least he can't legally get married. So he's like, he heard the deal. He's like, huh, okay, that much money? What do I have to do? And the broker was like, okay, from now on we're gonna do the paperwork and we're gonna set the foundation. So what you have to do is exchange the contacts with this model girl, meet her regularly for a couple months, and stack social cred, like you know, social media posts, like take selfies together, go out on dates, like write captions, you know, establish like a real looking relationship. And you know, you have to do at least like months and months of that. Bring her back to America, like show her around, like take posts over there too, and say descriptions like, oh, like I love America and like I love my fiance or whatever, and like assume that you guys are gonna marry and stuff. Build a scenario and then actually get married and give her the citizenship, and yeah, and then that's how it just worked. So she just acquired the citizenship by getting married with him. He took a back deal, he got the money, and she was legally able to stay in America with that rich guy, and they were there. And after like, I think 5 years or something, this is an old story, after 5 years or something, the guy, the gay person I knew, he actually like got a divorce with the girl. And I don't know how that works, if the citizenship stays intact or whatever, but apparently he got a divorce. And the crazy thing is, he did another deal. he did another thing. So he got two deals for this. Yeah. But when I heard this, I was like, wow, the fact that you have an American citizenship and you can get a highly competitive employee's 3 years worth of salary for faking, you know, a marriage and selling your citizenship, that is crazy. But then I heard that you could go into federal prison, or like very high sentence if you actually got caught. So the risks are super high. So I guess because the risks are that high, thus the compensation. But there are brokers for this, and there is demand and supply for this. That's for sure. Yeah. It's not Bangshi. It's not Bangshi. What the fuck? No. Oh my gosh. So funny. Oh, lol. What? David's spilling a lot of tea. Why are you putting my secret affair on blast? People do this pretty often, really. Yeah, this society, it's really crooked. You know a guy who did the same? Really? Maybe it's the same guy. Dang, this should be a TV show. I guess it's more prevalent than I thought. I thought it was like a super secretive thing, but like even in the chat, people say it's pretty common and they know people who did this. So I know someone from Thailand who did the same thing. Not uncommon, really. Wow. I wonder if, like, okay, the provider of the citizenship, the fake marriage, would definitely be punished by law. I wonder if that would apply to the broker too. Like, so in my case, the broker was a Korean person and it's an operator in Korea. So I wonder if the US law would extend and be able to penalize the Korean broker as well. That's interesting. Someone may have offered this to me last year. Really? Oh my gosh, the amount of tea in the chat today. Dang. And I said I would end this at 2:30, 2.5 hour mark, and we're over 2:45. Whoa. Yeah. Dang. Yeah. 2 hours and 45 minutes. I could have gone to Busan by now. But yeah, folks, don't get wrong thoughts in your heads. Easy come, easy go. You might end in prison. So, and especially nowadays with like the climate over there with ice and all that, I'd be extra careful. Yeah, they apparently do like social media checks at customs and immigration. And this like Korean scientist was detained, rejected, or yeah, it's very scary. U.S. cannot technically penalize another country's national with jail time. They can make requests from that person's government to intercede. Oh yeah, that could be possible. Marriage for U.S. citizenship is so common it's not shocking at all. It's a trope in so many movies. Really? Okay. Whoa, I spilled my biggest secret ever, but now it's like, oh, damn. The Swedish Prime Minister married a Polish girl a long time ago just to help her. Oh. I was twice asked to marry for a business deal. Whoa. You would marry Bang? You were asked a long time ago to marry someone to give them citizenship, but I couldn't do it. Oh my god, what is this chat? People, Rachel, Rachel, this is real opportunity. No, I did not say anything, but like, whoa, this is pretty common. I'm just joking because you always joke about marriage and citizenship too, okay? Okay, guys. Well, that's a wild ending. But anyways, hope you enjoyed today's stream. Go check out Patreon if you want to support, and also get a huge catalog of watch parties. I'm gonna watch 84 Square Meters and maybe Trigger for the next one. I can't guarantee, but that's high on my list. And it's another week and start of August for me. So in some way, like start of August was Friday, but it didn't seem like a start. But it officially looks like a start for me. So until the 17th. Oh my gosh, I only have 2 weeks. Damn, I need to pump out content. So yeah, very excited for my new equipment and my new content. So please support when I upload new content. Please leave a like before we go. We still only have 190 likes, and appreciate all your PayPals. Let me check if I got another. Yeah, I always miss the shoutouts because I ended abruptly. But let's see. Why is it so slow? Nope. But thank you, everybody. Good night. Have a great week. Thanks for another great live. Thank you, the Style Gene. More lives coming for sure, for sure. I might even double the dose on live streams because I need to meet that quota and hustle on. Yeah, I don't know if I'll make it to the second round, by fingers crossed. Yeah, there's some big money on that. Okay, guys, have a nice week, and peace out. Bye, bye, Brenda. Bye, Midnight Dreams. Bye. I can't call all your names. Bye.